What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Marcus.
And I am Shelby. And we are Crugers with a C.
How you doing, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
What you been up to?
A lot.
Like?
Just been busy. This whole day has been busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I made sure I did something different today.
What you did?
I did my usual weekend duties today, right? So I made sure that I finished everything that I had to do and at least have an hour to myself to sit down.
That's different. That is totally different.
You should be proud of me.
I am.
I did that.
Well, what made you do that?
I just knew that we had to do something else, which is this. And I needed to wind down. I needed to get my mind together. I needed my feet to stop hurting.
You was running back and forth then, huh?
Yeah, so, and I didn't have on proper shoes today.
I don't know, but I don't understand why you go out. No, even go. What you had on, sandals?
No, I did have on proper shoes. I had on some Nike slides because I had planned to get my feet done.
See what I'm saying?
But then, those are comfortable, but I had on like some new ones. They ain't
broken.
But
you going to grocery shop. You going to be out.
Yeah, and I wore those because I was going to get my feet done. And I didn't do that. And then once I changed my mind, not getting my feet done, I regret it. So I came home and then I still didn't change my shoes. And I did a lot of stuff. But like I said, I put it in my mind that I need to be done with everything at a certain time so I can sit down for an hour and just regroup and relax and get ready for
recording.
Yes.
And I want to make an interjection. Sorry for everybody who don't live in Florida, who don't have the who don't have the luxury.
I'm not trying to make y'all jealous
because it is not cold right now.
No, but you know what? I don't. Well, you maybe should not apologize because it is cold.
It's cold now?
It's cold now.
I haven't been outside all day.
Yeah, because I'm glad you told me that I needed to put on the jacket because I had on short sleeves. And I get in the car, and the car said 60. I was like, oh, okay. And then you know how you pull out the garage and then you get out in the atmosphere? That bad boy started dropping.
Oh, so it's colder. It's colder outside.
It's colder outside. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, and I did wish I didn't have on my Nike slides because my feet was cold. And you know I don't like my feet cold, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad now I know how to prepare for tonight.
Oh, I would have told you.
Yeah. But other than that, you had a good day?
Yeah, I had a good day.
How did relaxing feel?
It felt good. It really did.
Yeah, because you don't relax. You like to energize a bunny. You keep going.
Until I fall out.
Until you crash. Yep. Until you crash.
Well, I think, we talked about New Year's resolutions. I think that's going to be one.
To relax more?
Yeah, and stop going and going like that because that little hour that I had helped me. So, yeah.
That's what I be trying to tell you, but then you be like, you trying to tell me what to do.
Nobody asked for all that.
I'm starting.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Excuse me. Let me take a sip of my coffee.
Go ahead and drink it.
Wait, my hands ain't right. I got to get it like this right.
Go ahead and drink it.
Well.
I don't think they needed to hear you drink it.
I had to give them a visual representation of how I drink my coffee.
They can go on YouTube at Crugers with a C and watch it.
They sure can. They can also email us at Crugers, WAC @gmail.com. That's CRUGERS WAC @gmail.com.
Crazy.
You can also like us on Facebook at Crugers with the C. And chime in. And speaking of chiming in, this week we posted a few one question on Facebook, and we got some responses. And so this episode is going to be Promise Ring. Do I need to tell the story about how we got into this topic?
Yeah, go ahead.
So once again, I was in a conversation with someone, and
oh boy.
So it was me and the person sitting side by side, and someone else came up and started talking to us, and they grabbed the girl's hand, and she was like, "What's this?" So immediately I thought it was an engagement ring. She was like, "It's a promise ring." I said, "A promise ring for what?" "A promise ring to get married." I said, "What?" And so she was like, "Yes, a promise ring to get married." So we went into this whole conversation about it, and I just told her, I congratulated her, but then I really gave her my real thoughts of how I felt.
You did.
And I wasn't disrespectful. I wasn't rude, but I just told her how I felt about it. I was like, you can't wear a promise ring and get the benefits that I get.
Nope.
Because I am married. I actually committed. See, look, if you don't whine and you're looking at this, listen. I actually committed. I didn't have to make a promise. I committed. I did it because I knew I wanted it. I knew this was what was going to happen. And I just said that I felt like a promise ring was a prenuptial agreement. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like. Because I said, it's like you're in a relationship, right? And you telling this person, I promise that one day we're going to get married.
Yeah, that's just dragging them along to me.
I promise that one day we're going to get married.
Yes.
Right? So then you go get a promise ring, then you get an engagement ring. Mm-hmm. So that's still more time you're going to have to wait.
Right.
So then you get an engagement ring, then you go and buy the actual ring. Mm-hmm. And then you might get married, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not talking about this person's case. I don't know this person's case. This is just a scenario that I've developed. And then you look at the prenuptial agreement. The prenuptial agreement says, I love you with all my heart.
But
if we divorce, you ain't getting nothing that I work for.
Right. Exactly.
It's a condition. That's what I said. I said that this is just a condition. Love don't have conditions. If it's real love, then you won't get no prenup. If it's real love, you'll just go ahead and marry the person. This is what I asked. I said, you think if this person really love you that they care about the ring?
Right.
Let's ask you this question. Did you care? And be honest.
Did I care about
the ring?
My ring?
Yes.
A little bit. Mm-hmm. I did. I wanted a certain ring. I wanted a white gold ring. And that's the only thing that I really cared about.
Right.
But I was excited to be married as well. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't, putting so much energy on what kind of ring, what you should do, how you should do, what size it should be, and
Right.
So it is a big deal, but it is a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't I don't know how to say it. It was important, but it wasn't important. It's just the fact that you want me was important.
And this is what I said as well. I said, when I met my wife and I knew that I really, really liked her and I knew that she was different, I said I made preparations to get my ring then. Mm-hmm. This person told me that it was a chase before they actually connected. Mm-hmm. So it was a chase for like almost half a year.
Okay.
It was a chase for almost half a year before you even engaged with the person. Mm-hmm. So I was like, if you knew that this what it was, and if you knew that this was the one, why not make preparations for a ring then? Mm-hmm. Like, it's like we want to test the waters. We want to eat some of the chips. We want to open the bag. We want to do all of this stuff. If we don't like it, then we'll say, never mind.
Right.
I take marriage seriously, and we don't have a perfect marriage. I'm not a perfect person. You're not a perfect person.
Correct.
But if it's somebody that you want to be with, piss on that promise ring.
You was waiting to say that, right?
Yes. Excuse my language. But I'm saying, if it's somebody you really want to engage with, engage.
Right. I've been doing some reading on this, and, I have my thoughts about promise rings. When I think about it, I think about high school. Mm-hmm. I think about high school love. I think about, a young gentleman.
A gentleman?
Gentleman.
He's a gentleman. Hey, gentleman.
A young gentleman.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Giving a ring to his high school girlfriend. You done?
No.
Or is you finished?
Hey, gentlemen. Okay. Go ahead. Now you finish.
You done?
I'm done.
I just see him giving the ring to his high school girlfriend, and they've been together for a long time, and that's it. Mm-hmm. That's what I think about a promise ring. And also I think about a promise ring as, a father giving it to his daughter I guess also as a purity ring, or some people wearing them as purity rings. So to me, it meant different things. However, I don't see the purpose of it if you are, I'm going to say 20 and above.
Okay, so but by you saying that remind me of some of the comments on Facebook. Can you go to those?
Yeah.
Because I just think it's a childish way of thinking. But let's read the comment that we posted.
Okay.
Let's read the post that we made, and then let's read some comments.
So we put out there, what are your thoughts about promise rings in relationships? Leave a comment below, as this will be the topic of our next podcast. One person said, I think they could be sweet and endearing to an extent. I think age also plays into this. For example, I don't think any woman in her late 20s or up would appreciate a promise ring. That's somewhat taunting in my opinion, which I agree. What exactly are you promising, but not enough to say in a vow? But each relationship has their own dynamics. They have collectively decided that marriage isn't for them, but they want a physical representation of their commitment to one another. I know a couple where they both wore promise rings for a year. Then once he proposed, the ring just swapped out. It's not so much about the ring, but more about...
Wait, back up. You know a couple that what? That wore promise...
She knew a couple that they both wore a promise ring for years. Then once he proposed, the rings just swapped out. It's not so much about the ring, but more about, is there a genuine commitment between the two of you? The ring should be a reflection of that, not just a showpiece. A question I've been asking lately is, historically, why is it only the woman wears a ring in the initial stage, promise or engaged, and not both of you? I haven't done the research Now, to the person's credit who gave me this idea, they both did wear a promise ring. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's different.
They both did wear a promise ring. So, okay, that could be different. But my thing is, like, the people who actually wear promise rings in place of engagement rings.
Okay, so I did read that. So, let me see if I can go back to that. Okay, so I was reading, I Googled promise rings, and I came across this question. It says, what is the use of a promise ring? And it gave several, sentences about that. But it said for young couples with little money, an engagement ring can be expensive. So they will opt out and go buy a promise ring. But it will be the actual engagement ring.
That makes sense.
Because promise rings are much cheaper,
right,
than engagement rings. Now,
right.
I agree with that. Because as a young couple,
you might be fresh. You might not have no money. I understand that.
Yes. So that's one reason I agree with a promise ring.
I agree with it in that term.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, okay, let's read the other ones. What else you got?
Okay, what you want me to read? Another comment?
Well, no, because that person said historically why men and only women. But like I said, to their credit, it was both who wore the promise ring. But you had some history as well, as far concerning promise rings.
Yeah, so promise rings date back all the way to the 16th century, and they were called posy rings because poems used to be engraved in them. So they were very popular in the Georgian, I guess I'm saying that right, in the Victorian era.
Yeah.
So that's where they came from. But this article, I guess we can put it in description. It is called "What is a Promise Ring? The Real Meaning," and it was a good article. So that's why I got some of the history from. And also in the history section, it said that in the past decades, the promise ring has become a mainstream trend, largely thanks to the publicity surrounding famous owners such as Miley Cyrus and Nick Jonas, the Jonas Brothers. I don't know what Miley Cyrus was wearing her for. That's shade. Just if y'all was confused, that is shade because I don't know what she was promising. But I do remember the Jonas Brothers. They used their promise ring as a purity ring. So they were promising to God that they would keep themselves pure until they got married. So that's why I'm saying, like,
in certain cases they can be good.
Yes, the promise ring is mainly, hold on, let me back up. To me, it has so many meanings, and different people we asked, they gave different reasons of what a promise ring is for.
Right. I got another one right here.
Okay, go ahead.
This has come from Lacey and Baby Girl Makes 3 Obey, and it said promise rings are for teens and early 20s. Anything after that should be engagement ring and marriage. I wish a brother would give me a promise ring at my age right now.
And then she gave what? Some fists.
Some fists.
Some fist emojis.
Yes.
Right. I agree with her because I feel like we should be mature and grown enough, and we should be away from that I'm not sure stage. If you not sure, I need you to go elsewhere. I ain't got time.
I did make that statement too. I said that I felt that it was a childish way of thinking.
I think so too.
You know, if you at my age, right, 36, and I'm coming to you with a promise ring, so I guess age does play a factor. So we're going to exclude young couples. Let's say from 20s to 20. I'd say even all the way up to almost 30, because sometimes you get married and you don't have the finances. You don't have the money. You don't have everything, right? So we'll say the 20 to 30. All right. Okay. We'll let that slide. But I can't be so. You know, different things happen at different stages of people's lives, but what I'm saying is the mental process, the maturity level. If you're 35 and you don't have the money, you can say, "Hey, listen, I want this promise ring to be an engagement ring because we don't have that money right now." Fine. But just to be in a relationship and you trying to commit to somebody and say, "Hey, go a promise ring. I promise that I'm going to marry you one day."
Yeah.
No. Because it's like you're lowering the stand. Lowering the standard of marriage. And I guess that, okay, since we're in the age where people can be offended, I just feel offended by it.
Yeah.
Because I actually put in work for this.
Yeah, it's hard work. It's not play. We're not playing house.
Right. And that's one thing I kept saying. I said, you can't do that.
You can't have the benefits of a marriage with the promise ring if that's your intent.
Right.
If you're not doing this because, like we said earlier, you don't have the money, you're going to get a promise ring, which is cheaper, to represent an engagement ring. Okay, that's fine. But I don't need you. This is my pre-engagement ring. What?
No.
I'm good.
And I'm glad that I experienced this, because I'm like, one of the things they kept saying was, this is just a promise ring until I be able to get the real ring. I was like, listen, if you know that this, and I can understand that, but
that's kind of dumb to me, because you could be saving that money that you putting on the promise ring to put on the engagement ring.
I think it's just a thing to prolong.
Yeah,
I don't think my thoughts about it was people really don't want to commit. They want the benefits of being married. They want it to look like marriage, but it's not marriage. You know, I'm married, so it's certain things I have to go through.
Right.
It's temptations I have to fight.
Right.
It's compromise. It's a whole bunch of stuff that I have to go through because I took a vow to you. Not only did I take a vow to you, I took a vow to God in front of our friends and family.
Right.
And I made that commitment. So I put this ring on. Right? Now, you got a promise ring on. You ain't did nothing. You can pack up and leave whenever you want to.
Any day.
There's nothing legally binding with you. There's,
and you ain't going to ask for it back.
Right. If you want to leave, you can leave. Y'all can throw the rings away. Me, I have an indention on my finger.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? This is a part of my life. When I leave home, I feel empty without my ring. Something ain't right. I'm missing something.
Right. a wedding ring goes with so much. Yes, it symbolizes a vow, a commitment, us working together, compromising, loving, ups and downs, to death do us part. But it also have those intentions. You feel some type of way when you don't have it on, and your heart stop when you can't find it. Right. You know, because I take my jewelry off every night, and I just had this earlier. I usually sit it in the top drawer of my jewelry box, but I didn't for some reason this time. I just sat it on the dresser. So Paige came in and put something up, and she sat it on the dresser, but she knocked my rings down. So I only had my wedding band. I didn't have my engagement ring, and I was like, where's that? So my heart just stopped, and I was like, oh my God, where's my ring? Right. And it rolled up under the dresser. Okay. So I found it. But how you gonna feel like that with a promise ring? Nah, I don't know. Because I mean, it holds value, but it doesn't hold that much to me. I'm sorry. It doesn't.
Me either. Not at a certain age and not in a different place of maturity. Because, like we say, I understand about those people who can't afford it. I understand about those people who are young couples, you know, but you're at an age to where, you know, you're trying to build a family and you're doing stuff as a family, but you got a promise ring. Come on, man. If you're going to commit. That's just how I feel about it. One thing that I knew is that when me and you were together, I wanted to marry you. I knew that. I don't know how I knew. You know, like in the movies when they say, I just knew it was the one. I knew it. I can't explain how I knew it. I can't describe the feeling.
Because I'm just so fabulous.
And I felt sorry for you, but...
Really? I keep... You know, like just like I was telling you earlier, you can't live without me.
Let me go ahead and rescue this girl from her despair, destruction. Let me go ahead and rescue her.
Child, please.
Nah, but I knew that I wanted to marry you. So there was nothing else that was saying, wait. I knew I wanted to commit. So I made provisions to get you a ring. Okay, I dated you. And once I was able to get to that place to where I said, listen, this is the point where I can get this ring. Then I got the ring. Now, the only thing that did stop me is I was waiting for me to complete a certain task in my life. Right? I said, once I complete this task, once I get through this process, which it had a date on it. Right. So it had a date on it. It wasn't like I wasn't sure when I was going to propose to you. I knew when I was going to propose. I was like, well, I have to go through this series of things right here. And once this date, it had a date on it. Right. Let's say the date was December the 18th. After December 18th, if everything goes well, then I'm going to do it. And
he did on December the 24th, 2009. He proposed. Right. It was beautiful.
She hit me. I got beat up.
I was shocked.
But see, I knew when I was going to do it. It wasn't like one day. Right. Or whenever this happened. Because in life, you could plan for anything and other stuff going to come up.
But I think that all comes with maturity, honey, like you said. And then also, like, why do you need a promise ring? Because you said something earlier. We dated. And I think that's where you find out a lot that you need to know. That promise ring is not going to tell you that.
No, I think just people these days they think it's okay to date. Because, listen, this is another thing with marriage. And we did it the traditional way. We dated. We did not live together. And people build their houses before they build a foundation.
That's true.
You know, it's like they're getting married. They're doing all the husband and wife things without actually committing to it. So you're gonna live together. You're gonna stay together. You're gonna go. You might even have kids. You know, you might say, "Oh, this is my so and so. This is my so and so," but we didn't do that. See, you could cheat. Right. Me and you, once we got married, we moved in together. We didn't know anything about each other, how we lived.
No, we didn't.
So we had to go through that whole process. And if you got mad at me or if I got mad at you, I couldn't leave.
No, we couldn't. No, because we was married.
We were married.
Yeah.
if we got frustrated, we had to figure out how to work things out. And that's when we came up early with don't leave the house if we mad.
Yeah, and communicating.
Right.
And communicating. I was in my time of reading, it also said that some of them used a promise ring, and they think it's okay for them to cohabitate because they have
a promise ring.
A promise ring.
Let me tell you something. Your mind has to be right. And we live in this world now to where everybody think it's okay to do this, A, B, or C. It's not always okay. And I think that the people who should be offended are the people who actually putting in work. And I'm not a person who get offended easily. But I was just like, that's like generic. It's generic to me because I actually have to put in the work.
Yeah, you do.
I actually committed.
Yeah, you do have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. And I also used to say this back in the day. I was at one point being a wife, but I was actually a girlfriend.
You was being the wife that you wasn't? That's
yes,
what you said?
I think I was being the wife that I'm not. But I posted something earlier this week. Being a wife to your boyfriend doesn't guarantee a marriage. And I think that's something important that we need to know because sometimes you'll get, I think you may get that promise ring and you'll run with it. Oh, I got this, I got that. Now I can act like the wife. No, ma'am. You can't. You shouldn't. He's a boyfriend. He's not your husband.
Let me ask you this, too. How long do you think a person should be engaged?
That depends on a lot. Money. Because you have to plan. I would say no more than 2 years.
Okay.
No more than 2 years. All because of money, venue, clothes, the dress, tuxedo, people. No more than 2 years. It shouldn't be no more than that.
Here's another thing, too. Should you celebrate anniversaries of engagements?
If you want to. I mean, we did at one point, but then it kind of died off.
We did what? No, I'm talking about like, we're not married. I'm engaged to you. This is our first year of being engaged.
Oh.
I don't want to say, should you do it? How do you feel about it? Let me ask you.
I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I just don't think that you should be celebrating engagement for 10 years. I think that's fine. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had another comment online, and I don't want to leave anyone out because they took the time out to respond.
Oh, yeah, and my first comment, I'm sorry, I did not acknowledge the name. That was from Miss Caitlin.
Caitlin Boswell.
Yes.
All right, so the other one, let me read the question again. What are your thoughts about promise rings and relationships? And leave a comment below as this will be the topic of our next podcast. Shasha Francis said, nope, won't accept. But I'll take an engagement ring, and we can take out time if that's what's needed before marriage. So no, she won't accept it. But I'll take an engagement ring, and we can take out time if that's what's needed before marriage. So that's basically what we just said, like taking the time and being engaged.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like a certain time that you have to mature.
Yeah, you do have to mature. And I think that the engagement should be, a significant time. It shouldn't be 3 months. I mean, unless you got the money and y'all know each other, okay, that's fine. But I do think you guys should, take your time. It's no rush.
I guess my way of thinking is different.
What?
Because like when I said, when I knew that I wanted to be with you, I made provisions to get the ring. Once I saw that date. And I was able to put a date on when I wanted to propose to you. I knew things were rolling, right? So I have to say that I was committed when I was committed.
Right.
Once I engaged, and I was like, I don't want to draw this out. I'm ready for this. I'm ready. Regardless if I'm financially ready, we're gonna have to do what we can with what we got.
I got you.
So I'm gonna make the provisions to make these things happen. Let's work together. If I have to do this and put in a little bit of more time over here, if I have to cut back over here, if the wedding is not going to be as big as I would like for it to be, let's do it.
Yes, both of y'all have to be in agreement to that.
Right.
Because, women, we like our weddings now.
And let's be real. Let's be real. You thought that I was proposing to you to be quiet, to make you be quiet. Let's talk about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead, talk about it.
No, you don't have the inkling of that thought. So let's talk about it. Let's be transparent and let's be real.
Yeah, I really don't remember the basis of why I said that to you. I think,
well, let me say this too. If you're going to engage, don't engage just to make your partner be quiet or something like that.
Right.
Like, don't just do it and you don't mean it.
Right. So yes, that's what I thought.
You thought I didn't mean it.
Right. That's what I thought initially, because we had a little bit of issues a couple of months before that. So it came to a surprise that you wanted to, get married. And I'm like looking at you with the side eye. But, I had to learn that you was genuine with it. And
the whole time I'm planning, like, I'm really wanting to marry her. I'm waiting for the time. And I'm just seeing, I'm planning everything out of my head. But in your mind.
But I was just confused because, like I said earlier, we was going through something heavy. And it was heavy. If we being transparent, it was so heavy that I thought we were going to break up. So I was just shocked that here you go proposing. So that's why I was slapping you when you was proposing, because I was shocked. Not slapping them in the face. You know how you hit somebody on their shoulder, but
oh my God,
I was shocked.
Oh my God. That's how you say
whatever.
Oh my God. I remember it like it was just a oh my God. I said, is you gonna say yeah?
Oh yeah. God. Oh yeah, ladies. Y'all got to remember to say yes.
You have to remember to say yes.
Yeah, I know we being shocked. We have to come back to reality and say yes. We just be shocked, honey, for a little minute.
It's all right. That's what we're supposed to do. And that's another effect of the promise ring. I think it take a blow away from the actual engagement.
Yeah.
Because now you got this person, you give this person a promise ring, and now they're waiting for the engagement ring. They're just looking. They're out there looking. They're out there looking. And then now it's like when you get ready to get a Christmas gift. You get the Christmas gift, and even if you don't know what it is, you get ready to open it. But it's like that excitement. What's in it? What's in it? That's what the promise ring do to me. It's like, oh, I got a promise ring. When I'm gonna get married? When we gonna get married? And that
it just take away all the anticipation from everything. Okay. Yeah.
If you're gonna to marry somebody, or if you want to be with somebody, give them all of that. Let them get the full effect of it with the engagement ring, not a promise ring.
Yeah, and I don't think you need something materialistic to show your commitment to somebody. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Like we said, it's different reasons people do it, but I think if it's one of the reasons, like what we stated earlier, young or whatever, I understand that. But when you at a certain age,
it's time to grow up. It's time to get real.
Yes.
And not dragging people along, and just because promises can be broken.
You know what? I asked somebody, what do you think about promise rings? And she said promises get broken all the time.
They do. They do. You hear people say, I'll make promises. What's wrong with you? You'll hear people say, I'll make promises. I done heard people say that.
Yeah.
So don't come to me and we 31 with the promise ring. No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Promises get broken all the time. If you're gonna do it, God darn it, just do it. But you got to be ready, because it's like, I want to test the waters to see if this was gonna work.
And if I don't like it, never mind. You can't do that, because then that's just gonna distort your mind about getting married. you're not going to leap and take that, because when you get married, all those things that you were testing and then running away from, you're going to face it.
You're going to face them multiple times.
Yes.
You're not only just going to have, I think people think that marriage is this thing that they see on Lifetime.
No, Hallmark.
And
Lifetime, they be killing people.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's marriage too. So, not this one, though.
I was just getting ready to say that. Marriage is not a Hallmark movie.
It's not. It's more of a saving.
Watch it.
It's like a battlefield.
Watch it. Mm-mm.
No, my marriage is a battlefield. And speaking of battlefield, if anyone have not seen John Gray's message about the trap house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let me interject this. And we watched this morning.
Yeah, I got to finish watching all 3.
This is a powerful message. It's a powerful message overall, but part 2 really spoke to marriages.
Yes, you guys need to really watch that.
It's John Gray's Trap House part 2. You can see it on YouTube. You can really watch it on the app. Okay. But I saw it on YouTube, and this message or sermon was so powerful because it was visual, and it was also you could hear what he was saying. But basically, it was like him and his wife was going through some stuff, and he was talking about all of how the devil wants to bring strife in between you and your wife, or you and your spouse,
coming into your home.
And he brought out when he was in the house. It was him and 2 of his friends. They were talking. He was trying to reach out to some men to talk about the problem. Then his wife came in with her friends, and they brought a bunch of spirits with them. And if I'm not mistaken, it was some spirits in the house.
Yeah,
with him
it was
too.
Already some spirits in the house.
It was like division, strife,
pride, rage, insecurity.
Right, those were all of the spirits with him. Then when his wife came in, she bought...
I think she had insecurity.
Unforgiveness. It was just a lot.
All the feelings that we have when something goes wrong.
Right. So now, then when they came in and she bought all those spirits, so now he had all his spirits and she had all her spirits. And they began to talk, and the spirits just began to just move around the house.
Yes, because each of them was feeling them. So when that person felt that spirit, they were people. Those people would move. It was neat.
Yeah,
it's a visual how we really go through things. And then, and we telling the whole sermon.
Yeah, we can tell it. But then they allowed the Holy. They had to invite the Holy Spirit back in.
Right.
Then they was able to move some of those spirits out.
Right.
So that's when the fruit of the Spirit came.
Right.
Love, peace, joy. What was it? It was some other stuff that they added into besides that, but it was just like long suffering. All of those spirits came in and warred with the evil spirits and pushed them out of the house.
Yeah.
Y'all have to watch that sermon on John Gray's Relentless Church because it was good.
Yes, it's a visual. If y'all don't understand why y'all feel this way, what's going on with my marriage, I believe that will explain it. Because we've all experienced those things. Right. So, yeah, you got to go see that.
And one thing she said that we related with was she didn't feel safe talking to him.
Yes. Because we often feel that we're being judged, or y'all just don't understand us, or we crazy, or whatever, or we're just an angry black woman.
We're not even gonna get into that. See, that's that familiar spirit. See,
that's one of them. that was one of them. Familiar spirit.
That was one of them too. Yeah, because he was like, see, once you get shut out, you start looking for a familiar spirit, something to make you feel good, or something that can relate to you instead of trying to break down the situation and figure out what's going on. So we're gonna leave that. We're gonna kick that familiar spirit out. You got to open some windows and doors.
Yes, and he was also using the doors as an analogy too, talking about close my doors. Don't let all that in my house.
Right.
So yeah, you have to use that too. You can't keep your heart or your mind or your thoughts open to negative stuff. You're gonna have to close it to that stuff and open your heart up and your mind up and your soul up to the Lord, to the Bible, to the Word, and to your husband. Y'all got to communicate. That's our key word: communicate. You got to talk it out.
And that's one thing about marriage that you have to work things out.
Yeah.
And you just can't leave.
Yep, that promise ring, boy.
You know, that's one thing about marriage. You have to work this stuff out. It's not easy to leave a marriage. Not for me, anyway. Some people do.
Some people do, yes. But it's not. I don't think it's easy. Even though they make it seem like it's easy, I still don't think it's easy.
So you really think Kim Kardashian and that one dude, how long was they married? Like 3 days?
72 days. 73.
Oh, I thought it was 72 hours. Might be.
I don't know. The basketball player?
Yes.
72 days.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But
72, 73, I think. Y'all check that. I don't know.
It's things that you have to work out with marriage. And it's just like, my whole thing was, you can't wear that because you don't have to go through what I go through.
Right. They taking the easy way out. It's a cop-out.
That's how I felt about it anyway.
It is.
If you're going to commit, then commit.
You don't need a ring to do that.
Don't be no sucker about it. Do it.
No, people should be able to see your love, to see your commitment, or feel it, or something. People say that about us. Mm-hmm. So, so yeah, that's how. If it's genuine enough, yeah.
Yeah, if it's genuine. Mm-hmm. But my thing is that was my whole thing about it. I just didn't know like how they got to that conclusion to where the promise ring is just like a representation of being marriage, or
who still talks about a promise ring? I mean, you came and told me about this. The last time I talked about a promise ring was probably in high school.
And the last time I talked about, well, I never even had a promise ring, but I just remember girls in middle school as friends. Look at you,
all the way back to middle school.
Yeah, as friends will get promise rings. Or cousins will get promise rings.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so dated to me.
I don't know. I just think that, like, in the context of marriage and relationships, no. Mm-hmm. Because it's like you're putting all of that energy into
a promise.
You're putting all of that energy into, a maybe. I said I do. I said I do. I said I do and I will.
And I meant it.
I said I do and I will.
Yeah, y'all need to go read them vows.
But see, nowadays you don't probably even have to have those things, the vows that mean something. It says to have and to hold, for rich or poor, from sickness and health, to death do us part. Mm-hmm. I will. I do.
Yeah. There's a lot that come with it.
And I'm still saying I do.
I say that too.
It's like, how long we been married? 8 years?
What is it? 2000? Yeah, 8 years going on 9.
8 years going on 9.
Being together for 10 years.
And I'm not going to say that every day has been a bright sunny day where you sitting on a porch in the swing with lemonade with your feet up.
That would be a lie.
Some days was Hurricane Michael.
Yeah, and then
Hurricane Irma.
And it wasn't
Hurricane Irene.
You done?
Hurricane Andrew. Hurricane Katrina.
Honey, it's not killing anybody.
Well, some bad days. Oh, yeah.
Y'all come get him.
I need you to raise your hand. If you know what I'm talking about. Somebody help me.
Y'all pray for my marriage.
Yes.
Just pray for it. But anyways, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, it's things in your marriage that doesn't have to do with your relationship that can make things tough. You know, like death.
Expound on that for me.
We had to bury a child.
Oh.
We had to go through that together.
Yes.
And that wasn't... Yes. I mean, we was there for each other, but that was in our marriage. That could have took a toll on our marriage, but it didn't.
Yep.
I I had to go through my own things. You had to go through your own things. And I think we was at a point like, I don't want to bother each other. We didn't want to bother each other with how we felt because we was trying to spare each other feelings, but we was trying to go through it, but that could have broke us.
It could have.
It could have broke us.
It could have easily broken us.
Yeah, finances, money, anything can come in a marriage and just, you got to be strong.
Right.
It's just not all about infidelity. That's not always the case. It's other things, sometimes not putting the garbage bag in the trash can. Stuff like that.
You want a garbage can? You want a garbage bag in the trash can? Put one in there. Take the garbage out. What more you want?
One motion. Take the garbage out. Put the trash bag back in there.
One motion.
It is to me. But anyway, it's just things like that.
It's growth. Now we can deal with that.
Right? Yes.
That used to be an argument.
It was.
That used to be an argument.
Yes. But I just want y'all to know that little measly itty bitty promise ring. No.
It's scars that come with this.
Yes, sir.
It's stripes. And it's also points to where you change as a person during your relationship. Mm-hmm. You change and you grow as a person. And it's so important to let your spouse know.
Yeah.
If you got that promise ring and y'all get mad after the first 2 or 3 big arguments, and you say, I'm done with this crap. I'm done with this crap, and you leave, you'll never be able to grow.
Right.
Like, we're kind of the ring. Okay, let's say the ring is just a reminder, right? But it's so much significance when I can look at this ring, and I just count the years, and I count the stuff that we've been through. Like, this is my original ring since we got married. Right. Of course, you had some medical stuff going on.
Oh, I thought you was going to throw some shade.
Throw shade. Of course, you had some medical stuff going on, so we had to change your ring.
Yeah,
right?
He bought me a fake ring. He should have just got a promise ring. I'm joking. I'm joking. He done bootleg me a ring. Nah, for real. I'm just joking though. I still have my first ring, so don't go there. I still have it.
You got 2 points for that one.
Yeah, I did.
You made me lose my train of thought.
That's good.
Well, you had some medical stuff going on, so we had to get you a new ring. But as I look back at this ring, I'm like, man, we done been through some stuff with this ring.
Yeah, we have.
We have grown. It's stuff that we could talk about now that a couple of years ago we couldn't talk about.
Yeah.
It's stuff that I could say to you that a couple of years ago I wasn't able to say to you.
Right. And we actually have been through some stuff. Like, I have 2 rings. My first ring, I lost it. Had Kaylin on that ring. It's Kaylin's fault why I can't.
Yeah.
What else? That ring broke my hand all the way out. So we have memories with that ring. That was my first ring.
Right.
I'd still cherish it. Even though it's in the box, in the drawer, I still go take it to get its checkups.
Yeah, because it's a real diamond.
He had to clarify that.
Man, it's real diamonds, baby.
It's a real ring. I still go get it checked. So it means something to me. I don't even think that I would give it away. I mean, because that was my first ring.
Right.
Even though I can't wear it and just will break me out. But I cherish that, and I cherish my second ring as well. So
even with that ring, like it was certain cars. It's memories attached to it, so it's growth attached to it, and that's just my thing. When I look at this ring, I'm like, man, we've been through some stuff.
Right.
We've grown as a couple. We've grown as people, and it's just like we've grown with it. We weren't able to just walk away. It wasn't a promise ring. Right. It was an engagement ring, marriage ring. And let me give you a little tip just in case you want to buy. I bought the engagement ring with the matching wedding ring to it.
Bam.
So I had everything at once. When I had your engagement ring, I had your wedding ring. So it was like I gave you the band first, and you didn't know that I had the ring. Oh, did you? Did I show it to you?
No, you give me the ring first. I get the band when we get married.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I gave you I knew it was together.
No, you didn't. You just gave me the ring. You ain't show me the band.
Okay.
I ain't get the band until we got married.
Okay. So I had everything. So like I'm saying, I didn't have to go get this huge ginormous ring. That's gonna come. You're gonna have to earn that 15, 20 years, you know. Then you're gonna get that big ring. So when you go talking about you got when you say I got this promise ring, I'm saving to get the big ring. No, it's steps to it.
It's levels to this.
It's levels of this crap. Not this
It's
marriage,
not crap.
but you know how it was just a figure of speech. But you're gonna have to work up to that big ring. You know,
have to work up to a lot. Y'all have to mature together.
Yeah, like when you see them old women with them big old rings on, that's because it's 20, 30 years.
Yep. They don't work for that.
They work for it. They put in their time
And
for
I'm
it.
pretty sure that husband ring ain't look itty bitty either.
We don't even care about no ring, though.
I know y'all probably like a motorcycle or something, you know.
I mean, I'm going to wear my
boat.
ring. I'm going to wear my ring and I wear it proud because I tell people all the time,
You better.
wait a minute, because you don't all wear your ring all the time.
I do wear my ring. Don't go there.
Don't get me started.
I do wear my ring.
Don't get me
I wear
started.
my ring.
We up here talking about promise rings and we talking now you don't.
I'm not worried about you.
But I tell people all the time, like, I'm proud of my ring. I wear this ring with pride, you know?
I wear mine with pride too. I was married now.
When you wear it.
Stop throwing the shade.
You know, but that's just my take on it. That's my stance on it. And I'm not bashing that person because everything I said here, I said to them.
Right.
So,
I don't think we're bashing that person. I just think that you just giving another point of view.
I felt some type of way about it. I did feel some type of way about it because I'm like, this is work. This is real life.
Yeah.
You know?
That's fine.
So, but any more thoughts on this?
No, I think I done said my piece. What about you?
I said my piece, and I just want to thank everybody that commented on Facebook.
Yes, thank you all.
Thank you for joining us here on SoundCloud. Hey, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the topic. You can email us at Crugers, WAC@gmail.com. That's CRUGERS WAC@gmail.com. You can comment on Facebook at Crugers with a C. Watch the videos on YouTube at Cruger with a C. And I'm good.
I'm good too.
So until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Shelby. And we are Crugers with a C.